Okay, so I want to know what is error boundary. We talk about error boundaries, but what is error boundary? Why do we use it? So, for example, I have this app.js. Okay, I have this test something the code here. It does some operations. For example, so it has two buttons. On clicking button, it calls these two functions: addition and subtraction methods, which are these one initial states. We initially it will be null, so we are passing this set states like this. So what happens is whenever a user clicks on a button adding, clicks addition or set addition, so it has set addition and use effect. So whenever this tc1 mounts, you see this set addition, we have set subtraction. We are assigning add and subtract functions to this one set addition, which is set addition. This will be, so the addition will be this function and subtraction will be this function. Hope this is clear. Now let's come to the error boundary part. So what happens is I deliberately added one error here, or you will comment this and I'll add something like some error. Assume that I'm not using error boundary. What happens is if you go to the UI, it will show if you reload throws an error. Sub is not defined because you see it's sub is not there. You know, we'll add a deliberate error. Okay, I'm clicking add, this error will comes up. So you see if I reload the page, nothing is there. Subtract, it works fine, but if you click on add, an error occurred while adding. So sometimes the UI get crashes or this error would display in the UI. So to avoid this, we want to handle any error that comes in the DOM. We'll give some other text like something went wrong, something like that would display in the UI. This will go off and that text, whatever we mentioned, that will display here. How do we do that? First thing is in the app.js, add this error boundary component. Inside this, all these components must be there. In my case, there is only one component, that is test. So what is error boundary component? You go there and you see it's just one function. Inside this there is one use effect, that's it. And there is one state error and set error like this. If there is a error, return some text like something went wrong. If not, return the children. Children in this case is this, whatever the components inside this opening and closing braces of error boundary are called children. So in this case, test is the only children. So what do you say is this children is there, return the children if there is no error. So how do you know what is error? So in this case, you have added an error here, deliberate error. And so what happens is in the app.js, we have error boundary. Inside test.js, we have in the test, the it is your tc1 is a child of test. So we have added error in the tc1. So on clicking this add button, this function will call in this as you already explained, and this error will throw up. So error boundary, what does it do? And this error comes up, so we have this code in the use effect window add event listener error. So whenever this error comes up, a window add event listener will identify that. You see that. So when the throw new error is executed, it will stop the current flow execution through error up to caught error to be caught by whatever error handling mechanism placed. So the specific error defined try catch. It will bubble up event eventually be caught by window object, which is where you see this. This is the point. So when the throw new error line is there, it will stop the current flow of execution and throw the error up to be caught by whatever error handling mechanism is in place. If no specific error handling is defined like try catch, the error will bubble up and eventually be caught up with a window object, which is where the window adjuvant listener comes into play. So what happens is since we don't have any try catch blocks here, This directly goes into window level. So window admin listener will figure out this error, and whenever there's error, this function must execute. So we are setting event, or if you don't mention also it is fine. When this works, if you use some random text also it works. So set error, we updated some text. So whenever there is an error, so whenever it is error is not null, this text will execute. So you go here, you reload, works, but you see this error occur while adding. So something went wrong, will come up. Okay, just to make sure the code is good to go, we have this event on. Okay, so this is how we have to implement error handling in our components. If there are 10 components inside AppJS, all will be falling under error boundary as a children. So we go to children, and we return a children if there is no error. So for example, if I comment this, there will be no error and children will be returned. This text, you see this, add stop, you get it. If there is error, then again and this text would display. Got it. So this is about the error boundary. So now you can see I have added this try catch blocks inside this add. So there will be error in try. If there is error, it will falls to a catch block. In the catch block, I printing some console and pop-uping some alert. So what happens now is this error is handled locally. Locally means specific this component. This error boundary window and event listener error will not figure out this error because already handled here. So this is a global error. This is where we define the global. We can find the global errors. This now when we add try catch, this is handled in this level, component level, and not in the global level. Global level it cannot figure out. So now you see what happens when we add event listener sees. When try catch block sees, you go there, and if you reload, you see. I mean, if you reload, so subtraction for addition, it gives some pop-up and gives this text caught error in add method, because that's what we have mentioned in our code, try catch. So the question is whether to implement try catch, or whether to implement window add event listeners. Because when you implement try catch, then there's no point in adding error boundaries, right? Like this. No, the exact point is we need both the things, because this is where we expected error, so we added try catch. There are cases where unhandled error would come up. For that, the window add event lesson would help us. So this is helpful, where which handles the unhandled errors which we can't foresee, and that is handled by this global level, and this is the component specific. So both must be there to be a proper code. See, it says error boundary component handles global errors using window.add event listener, which displays user-friendly message if error is detected. Component uses try catch to handle errors locally within methods. So if an error occurs, it is caught and logged, and alert is shown at the user. App component wraps a test component with error boundary to ensure that any unhandled errors within the test component or its children we caught displayed appropriately. By combining local and global error handling, you can create a robust error management strategy that ensures both specific and unforeseen errors are properly addressed. So this is how it must be there. You get it right. So first AppJS and the error boundary inside the test. So this is a error boundary. Children is what the test is in this case. So if there is any error, if there is any error at the window level, error would get update set error. So this text will come up. So inside test we are calling this child TC1. The TC1 the error, this is where the error comes up. Now this is handled by try catch. If I don't handle by try catch, it will be handled by error boundary. So this is how the robust code must be.